Hello guys, so today we're going to simulate an Asian an Asian Battle Royale. So this is the 2025 events. We have the Great Eastern War. China is against Japan, South Korea and Taiwan, which China doesn't even recognize Taiwan. So China defeats Japan, South Korea and Taiwan in a highly strategic and overwhelming war. The combined forces of Japan, South Korea and Taiwan struggle to withstand China's superior military might. After several months of intense battles, China ultimately secures a decisive victory with a series of land and naval assaults, forcing Japan to surrender. As a result, Japan is eliminated from the Battle Royale, and Taiwan and South Korea are left severely weakened and demoralized. So China takes Japan. Right. So call that China. Red is China. The Indo-China Alliance. In the wake, which involves Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos and Thailand. In the wake of increasing regional tensions, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos and Thailand form the Indo-China Alliance, a mutual defense and economic partnership. The four countries vow to support each other in times of war and promote joint economic development. This alliance shifts the balance of power in Southeast Asia as they begin to solidify their influence in the region. Okay, so now we have an alliance. Make this yellow. Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Thailand. Vietnam. Okay, so this is, I'm assuming, to stop China. We'll see. Let's move on to 2026. The Northern Ascendancy War. Russia and Mongolia against China and Kazakhstan. Russia and Mongolia, uniting for a powerful military push, launched an all-out assault against China and Kazakhstan. While initially facing resistance from China, the combination of Russia's massive military power and Mongolia's territorial advantage allows them to overpower the defenses of Kazakhstan. The war concludes with a significant Russian victory, as Kazakhstan is overrun and forced to surrender, leaving China as the sole survivor of the conflict. Mongolia... Oh! Interesting. So it's Russia and Mongolia against Kazakhstan and China. Wait, it's the wrong color. Sorry, Mongolia, you don't get to join the Indo-China Alliance. So China takes that. Let's remove borders. So it looks good, although Russia takes Kazakhstan, so we split up Mongolia and Kazakhstan. Kind of, not really. China. How can I spell China? Alliance. And the blue is Russia. The Korean Union. North Korea, South Korea. In a surprising political shift, North Korea and South Korea agreed to a peaceful unification, forming the Korean Union. The formation is facilitated by a mix of diplomacy and pressure from external alliances, notably China and Russia, who encourage stability in the region. Both Koreas, despite their ideological differences, have their leaders agreed to a new shared government with promises of economic cooperation and military integration. This union gives rise to a new regional power and significantly shifts the balance of power in East Asia. Oh, that is very interesting. I didn't see this one coming. We'll make them green. Right, so now we have United Korea. Let's move on to 2027. The Southern Pacific War. Australia, New Zealand against Indonesia, Philippines and Malaysia. Australia and New Zealand enter a war with Indonesia, the Philippines and Malaysia over territorial disputes in the South Pacific and control of the vital sea lanes. The conflict begins with naval skirmishes. It escalates into a large-scale ground operations. Despite the combined forces of Indonesia, the Philippines and Malaysia, Australia and New Zealand advanced military technology and superior naval forces give them a decisive edge. After months of heavy fighting, the alliance of Indonesia, the Philippines, and Malaysia forced a retreat with Indonesia's. What? But Australia's not there. Let me tell that. Australia and New Zealand aren't Asian. I misspelled a lot. Okay. It's a Southern Archipelago War. Indonesia, Philippines, Malaysia versus Singapore and Brunei. The war between the largest Southeast Asian. So, Singapore surrenders and Brunei is eliminated. Is Singapore eliminated? Okay, so let's say Malaysia took all of that. Malaysia took Singapore back. So this is now Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei. Malaysia. Let's have a look. Japan was eliminated. I guess it's just India, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh form the Indo-Pacific Coalition. We just call it the in India. No, let's call it the South Asia Coalition. Against China. Let's use orange color. India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. And it's called South Asia Coalition. South Asia Coalition. Okay. Moving on to 2028. The Himalayan conflict, India versus China and Nepal. The Himalayan conflict erupts as tensions over the border regions between India and China escalate, with Nepal caught in the middle. India launches a series of strikes to reclaim disputed territories along the Himalayan border, but China retaliates fiercely, bolstered by its alliances and control over critical passes. Nepal, initially trying to stay neutral, is eventually pulled into the conflict, but its small military is no match for the massive force of India and China. After a series of brutal mountain battles, India emerges victorious, pushing Chinese forces back and forcing Nepal to surrender. China, however, suffers significant losses, and after a long retreat, the country is eliminated from the battle royale. Did India just take out China? Is China eliminated? Wow. Big India. Big India indeed. Southeast Asia Union. Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia. Following years of cooperation under the Indo-China Alliance, Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia, Thailand form a unite to create the Southeast Asia Union. So we'll change it to Southeast Asia Union. Yeah. Let's move on to 2029, I think. Yeah. Indo-Pacific War. India versus the Indo-Pacific Coalition. Japan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. So what it's saying is India just took all of this. Okay. Formation of the Greatest Central Asia Union: Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan. Which is all except... So Afghanistan and Pakistan are the only nations that haven't... Only stand nations that haven't done anything. Because Kazakhstan was conquered by Russia in the war. Now the ball moved to constantly... so basically unite. Great Central Asia. What? Great Central Asia. What colour should we make them? Let's give them a light blue, I suppose. That sounds good. We'll call it the Great Central Asia. Just call it Great Central Asia. It's not even full Central Asia. Finally, the last year of the video, 2030. The Southern Reclamation War. Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Thailand against Malaysia and Indonesia. Who collapsed? Malaysia surrendered, and Indonesia was a neighbor. So Malaysia and Indonesia lost to this monstrosity forming out of Southeast Asia. So okay, that I find interesting. Indian Ocean Alliance. India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. Okay, India Ocean Alliance. So this is just Indian Ocean Alliance. Wow. So a lot has happened in today's video. Okay, so make sure to subscribe if you've enjoyed it. And part 2 will be coming out soon. And I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.